I'm going to go over a few features of the Ryobi battery drill. Look, they're going to be similar to other drills as well. Ryobi's just a brand. If you buy this range of tools, though, it's quite good, really. You can use the same battery packs in a range of different tools. Mind you, a lot of companies do that as well, like DeWalt and places like that. But we stuck with the Ryobi one because they're good value for money. Right, let's have a look at how it works then, right? So, like I say, it's got a battery pack. The battery pack's rechargeable. And the bigger the battery pack, the longer it lasts. Look, I've got a 5 amp hour one here. It's quite beefy, and you'll do quite a lot of work with that. This is a 2.5 amp hour battery, lithium polymer battery, I think. And it'll give about 18 volts of power, like I say, 2.5 amps. So you snap that into the bottom of the drill, and if that's in place, now you've got power it can use, right? Okay, so let's have a look how it works. Fits in your hand quite neatly. You know, a small battery pack's going to weigh a bit less, so you might get on a bit better with it. Right, so it's got a trigger. Naturally, your finger will go onto the trigger, and the trigger look is interesting to see. It's a progressive trigger. Okay, it starts slow and builds up the more you put your finger onto it. So that's an interesting little feature to deal with, right? This is called a chuck of the drill, right? It's a keyless chuck. So all you need to do to take the bit out is hold it and then turn it anti-clockwise, and you'll find that you can take whatever it is that you've got in the chuck of the drill out. So if you hold this, look, and then turn it, you can see the gap between the chuck gets small. I'm going to show you a feature now, right? So if you've ever gone paintballing, you've got a little button here. It's a bit like the safety on a paintball. If you push it in with your thumb, you'll notice that the drill reverses direction. So if I hold that still now, you can see I can open it right out, so it's much bigger, so it'll fit larger drill bits. This one will go up to about a 10mm drill bit, and it'll go down to about a 1.5mm drill bit. That's our range of sizes that we got. Okay, so what have we looked at so far? We looked at the battery, we looked at the progressive trigger that works quite nicely, and we've worked at how you reverse the direction of the drill. Okay, we've got quite a few more features to have a look at, because, you know, people grab hold of a drill and they think they can work it straight away. It's not quite as simple as it looks, all right? So next thing, you've got this 1-2 by here. This is actually a gearbox like you get in a car. So 1 is a low-speed gearbox, which gives you high torque. Torque is a turning force. So if you're in gearbox 1, you've got low speed, high torque. It's perfect for putting screws into things. So you're using this with a screwdriver attachment, like this Phillips screwdriver attachment, and driving a screw into a wall. Okay, so if you're driving a screw into a wall, you need to have this front attachment, if I can point to it nicely now, where you've got these numbers that go from 1 to 10. These numbers here are going to come into play, right? These are what's called your torque setting, right? So your torque setting is how much twisting force the drill is going to supply to you. So the lowest one there on 1, you'll find that if you try and stop that, it'll slip the clutch, right? Let me just do it fully. So if I hold that, you're going to hear a ratcheting noise as the clutch slips. If you bring it further up the range of numbers, you'll find it produces more twisting force. Okay, so if you're in gear number 1, you need to be on one of these 1 to 10 numbers. Okay, gear speed number 2, gearbox number 2, the drill's going to turn much faster because now working in drill mode, but it's going to have less torque, right? So less twisting force. Now, if you're in drill mode, look, you've got these other 2 features that you've got. You've got normal drill mode and you've got masonry drill mode. If I hold that up closely, you can see a little hammer. And what the masonry drill mode does is it vibrates the drill bit in and out to help you drill a hole into a wall or a masonry block or something. So if you're in drill mode, you'll hear it. It'll sound a bit like rattly. If you're normally drilling a hole and you hear that noise, then take it off masonry mode if you're not drilling into the wall and leave it on normal mode. So what have we got? We've got the gearbox, we've got the torque settings, we've got the keyless chuck, we've got forward and reverse, we've got the chuck. Well, that's about it, really. This other thing that this drill's got is quite nice is a little LED light feature that lights up where you're supposed to be drilling, but I don't know whether you'd want to be using it in the dark or not. And this is a brushless drill. The ones we got in school are brushless drills as well, I think. Give you a little bit more power than a normal drill, which is pretty good. So that's our drill. If you're going to use it, make sure you use it properly, right? Like I say, the most common mistake people make is trying to put screws into using a drill driver bit, right? So if you want to put the drill driver bit in, just slack off the chuck, put your driver bit in the chuck. Oh, just whilst I've got that handy then. So you can get extension bars for these driver bits. Look, this one's quite handy. You can put your driver bit in the end of it. That can go into your drill. Now you've got much longer bits to drill into. Or this one here, which is a slightly shorter one. Your drill bit goes in the end there. So I put that into my chuck of my drill. tighten my chuck up, make sure, look, I'm in low speed, high torque, so number 1, and then I've got to be on one of these numbers between 1 and 10. So if I want to go full torque, I'm on number 10, and now I'm ready to drill, drive a screw in or reverse out. Okay, so have a go, but take your time. It's not quite as easy as it looks.